What's up, guys? Episode 4. Welcome. We are so excited for you to be listening in today. We've got Casey Lyons on today's show, a 29-year-old former carpenter turned co-founder of a nationally recognized charity called LIVIN. If you guys don't know about LIVIN by now, you will absolutely love their mission by the end of this episode, a non-for-profit organization that revolves around mental illness. LIVIN was founded in honor of Casey's best mate, a really great guy called Dwayne Lally, who sadly took his life after living in silence with his mental illness. Casey and his business partner Sam realized that there was a huge stigma that revolved around mental health, and so many others were secretly suffering. So their quest to open up, educate, and break the stigma started in hope that others who were experiencing difficult times similar to Dwayne could be open and honest and share their thoughts and feelings and reach out. This incredible movement has helped so many lives already, and we just love everything that the team at LIVIN stand for. Casey explains that their organisation is all about living your life at the top and breaking the stigma of mental health by connecting, supporting, and encouraging one another to talk about feelings and challenges, because at the end of the day, guys, it ain't weak to speak. Through the development of cutting-edge education programs, some pretty dope fashion apparel, and some really cool awareness initiatives, LIVIN will launch a generational change. So watch this space, people. Let's unite to help people start living again.
Awesome. We're on.
All the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on our podcast show.
Are you excited?
Pleasure to be here.
Are you excited?
Well, the rose between two thorns, of course I am.
So for guys who don't know, we've got Casey Lyons, the co-founder from LIVIN, which is a non-for-profit organisation around mental health and raising the awareness around mental health. For people who don't maybe know your journey, I'd love for you to maybe tell them how it all started, because you used to be a tradie, right? How did you end up here?
I used to be a carpenter. Started in the most tragic of circumstances in September 15th, 2013. We lost my best mate, Dwayne Lally, to a mental illness. Dwayne lived with depression and bipolar for a number of years, and after his tragic passing, we were confronted by the shocking statistics that surround mental illness and suicide in this country. And we didn't really know where to go and what to do, but we knew we wanted to do something. So we created our own organisation, LIVIN, and we're going around the country to schools, sporting clubs, businesses, and trying to educate people on what mental illness is, warning signs, symptoms, where to go for help, all with a positive message, and we're trying to reduce the suicide rate.
Yeah.
I love that.
And because when you started, what was your vision for it? Because it's snowballed now. Obviously, this is your full-time job now. This is your full-time business. So how did it did you have that in mind when you started, or did it kind of just grow along the way?
To be honest, we didn't have a plan. We couldn't find someone. We at the start wanted to raise money and give to a charity, but we couldn't quite find a charity that resonated with us or resonated with what Dwayne went through. So the natural evolution, we sort of became one. We started selling clothes. We started some T-shirts for Dwayne's funeral, and we sold them for a bit of money. And we were originally giving that money to the family, but they kind of turned around and said, let's give it to a charity. And that's how we got started.
Wow.
We use merchandise to push our message. It's a way to raise awareness, but also money for the charity without having to, continually ask people for money and give nothing in return.
So, I love that. I remember when you guys actually started, and I was like, what an amazing, incredible concept. Your mission behind it from the get-go was always to empower and educate other people about something that has such a massive stigma around it, and to just see your journey flourish and what you guys have created. I'll be overseas in America and I'll see someone with a LIVIN hat, and I'm just like, that's pretty cool.
my little brothers are decked out and giving every time it's a birthday. Chris is like, yeah, you're getting the wearing LIVIN.
Well, we're very that was the main reason we did it. Dwayne's biggest problem was the stigma that kept him quiet, which stopped him from getting help. And there's plenty of help out there, but he just couldn't accept it because he felt different. He felt weird. So at the core of what we do is that lived experience, and that's how we feel we can connect with people, and it's relatable.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, we do have this cool, I don't like to use the word cool, but we'll use the word cool, clothing brand.
I think it's cool.
And we've been very
lucky
with the term LIVIN. It was just a term that Dwayne always used to say.
Really?
we sat down and we wanted to come up with a name, and I told the story about, I had a birthday party at my house one night, and this was when I lived with Sam Webb, the other co-founder, and he was living in America at the time, and I was living in his house, and Dwayne put a chair through his ceiling. And I said, mate, what are you doing? And he goes, just living. With the cheekiest grin on his face, because he knew Sam's a bit OCD clean freak. He knew it would really, really upset Sam, so he's trying to Skype him. But the next morning, Dwayne's there patching the hole. Yeah. and he was always saying it, I'm just living.
Yeah.
His cheeky little grin. So, we want people to be living. That's what we want, and it's just beautiful that it ties back in to what he always used to say.
Yeah. And the legacy that has been created from him is so
amazing.
Cool. So cool.
He was always the type of person that went out of his way to help others. He always had a big smile on his face, and he was always trying to make people laugh. So we're just trying to continue that legacy on, and hopefully he's remembered in the right way, in a good way.
Amazing.
I love your little motto as well. It ain't weak to speak, and it's on most of the clothes and stuff. And I think even just the brand that you've created is amazing, because like you said, you see it here, there, and ever. It's cool to wear it, but even more so, it's cool to wear for young people looking up for. I know you've done a really good job in getting into the actual rugby scene as well, and I saw the NRL footy show even has pushed it and had a couple of announcements on there and stories on there. So was there intention behind that, or is that just kind of people who radiated towards that? Or
yeah, well, when we started, we didn't have any money, so the power of social media, we just used who we knew and what we knew. Very lucky to have grown up with a few of the boys that have gone on to bigger and better things, and they were more than happy to put their hand up. And unfortunately, it's a catch-22. That's been all too common for us. We've got a lot of support, because it is one of the biggest problems within society today. So if we ever ask for any help or any support, people are more than happy to put their hand up. In a perfect world, we would have no help, no support, and Sam and I would be out there on the hard flog and the hard sell every day. But that catch-22, we do have a lot of support for that, for the bad reason.
Yeah. And
all the wrong reasons.
That brings me to my next question, because you just mentioned you'd be on the sell. This is obviously a non-for-profit charity, but at the same time, behind the scenes, this is a business.
Definitely. Any charity, any non-for-profit has to be run like a business. Otherwise, you're not going to be around for very long. If you're giving everything away without bringing anything in, you're not going to get anywhere. And that is hard, because we are a charity, and you do have... The root of everything we're doing is the memory of Dwayne and trying to help people in similar situations. So it's very hard to say no to certain things, but sometimes they can be detrimental to the greater good of helping, more or as many people as possible. So that has been hard, the balancing act of that. Luckily, we haven't had to say no to too many things. But any other charity, it is run like a business, and if it wasn't, they wouldn't be around for very long.
Yeah, because I think people forget, that you're there to raise money, you've got a massive mission, but at the same time, you've left your job in trading. This is your full-time job now. You and your beautiful partner, Amy, obviously you need to guys pay yourself a wage so you can continue to live this mission and share that. So
it is hard, and Sam as well. It's always been the hardest thing for us. What's right, what's morally right. We're lucky we've got a great board. We've got a great sounding board, our lawyers, accountants. And, these are questions that we throw up to them, and it's a decision made by them. It's not made by us.
Yeah.
But it's a hard topic to talk about. And most people don't understand too, the wider general public, they don't quite understand that. They expect us to work for free. I've gone from, being a carpenter 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week, to working maybe double that sometimes and getting paid less than half.
Yeah.
And to us, it's not about the money. It really isn't. Otherwise we wouldn't be doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
But, unfortunately, got married last week. That cost a bit of money. We've got to buy a house one day. We're going to have kids. There are hard costs in life.
Yeah.
But, the bigger we get, maybe there's ways we can find, other businesses we can start to help supplement that or
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It's interesting, like you said, a lot of people on the outside looking in, and this is the whole reason for the vlogcast. Obviously, you want people who are already in business or who want to get into business to actually know what that road and that journey looks like. And like they said, there's so many different forms of businesses, whether it's startup or franchise or investments. Charity at the end of the day is a business as well. So what's been your biggest lesson in your entrepreneurial journey?
I suppose you got to put yourself out there and make risks. And risk, getting it wrong. From your losses can come your greatest wins, and it's all about being vulnerable. It's great to be headstrong, but if you're very stubborn and headstrong on certain things, you're going to be lose out to a lot of good things that are out there that you just don't know about yet. But asking a lot of questions, we've been very lucky with that support. We had a law firm come on board from the very start. That was Minter Ellison. They helped us set up the organisation as a not-for-profit charity. They helped us get trademarks. Now we're very lucky. We've got Ramsden Law on board. They help us out with any of our legal matters. And we're very lucky just asking them questions, asking our accountant questions, because if you think you're the smartest person in that room, you're in the wrong room.
Yeah.
And that's definitely not us. Like, I was a carpenter before. We had no idea what we're doing, but you follow your heart and be prepared to make mistakes. I think you go a long way to success.
Did you know anyone that had already started a non-for-profit charity before? Like, did you have any mentorship, or did you have anyone
that's
to help?
a good question. Mentor. I've got a personal mentor myself. We've got a business mentor. Mentors you got to have them.
Absolutely.
They can help, kick your ass. They can help put your head straight if your head's in the clouds or wherever it may be. But yeah, you got to have these people around you that help you excel to want to be better. But no, we didn't know anyone that ran a charity or a not-for-profit. We certainly do now. We've met so many great people that run very similar organisations or different organisations, and these guys, we learned so much from them, and they probably learned a little bit from us as well. And that collaboration, it's wonderful.
Yeah. Well, and you mentioned it before, the power of social media and the power of collaboration with, other people with other networks is so big. Like, that's how small startups and charities and things are working and growing now, because they're using their audiences and networks combined to deliver their message.
I remember that when, what was that guy from Thor who came to Australia? You got him in one of these shirts, and next thing it just went crazy. Chris Hemsworth.
Well, we're very, very lucky. 15 years ago, we wouldn't have been able to have any of that. You would have to have paid cold hard cash for an advertising campaign through your traditional media of print, television, radio,
billboards, magazines.
Startups are so lucky now. We can sign up for free, and the power of that social media and networks, you can get your message to anywhere in the world for free. There's obviously different tiers where you can pay influencers or sponsored posts, all these sorts of things, but entry level, if you are on top of your social media game, you can really, really nail it and get to as many people and affect as many people in a positive way as possible.
And you've done a great job with that. Like, the LIVIN social media platforms are crazy. They're killing it.
That comes back to the unfortunate reason, a lot of people support us. Perfect world. Well, we're trying to work ourselves out of a job. It won't happen, but that's what we, like to say. We're working ourselves out of a job each and every day. And that's, Chris was told by a friend. Our friend was working on the movie set with him, and he was told about what the shirt meant and the meaning behind it and how big of a problem it was, and he put his hand up straight away.
Wow, that's so cool.
It is. And just like Chris and like any other normal person, we're so happy to have any support.
Yeah.
I still remember the first time I saw someone I didn't know wearing a shirt, and it was just
very cool?
Humbling. It was in Burleigh.
I was even on the block. I remember there's been a couple of episodes of the block, and I'm like, oh, living. It's sick.
It's all about who you know. I'm very lucky to have known good people. Clint, and he was a great man. Clint Amos represented himself, his family, and living very, very well in that show.
That's cool.
And so a lot of people, I always say we're kind of like we're the generation, we're the self-indulgent generation. We're all woo-woo, like if it feels good, do it, and if it doesn't, then don't. But because of that reason, so many people start business, and as soon as it gets hard or it gets rough, like, oh, it's not for me, or I can't do it. Like, they don't have that grit and that long-term vision and that passion. I know personally from knowing you obviously behind the scenes as well, like, this journey has been a hard journey. Obviously lots of highs, there's obviously lows, and that's just life. But would you mind even speaking to about like the tolls that business does have on people? Like, I know for you personally, it's had a pretty personal toll on you.
Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, that's the beauty of social media again. It's, we want instant gratification, and people are only ever putting their best things up on social media, and from the outside looking in, it looks like we're killing it and we're doing, this and we're doing that. But you don't see all the hours and all the hard work that it took to get to that stage, or just even for little things. Last year was quite tough, but even rewind back to when we first lost Dwayne. I was grieving. and I probably still haven't fully, dealt with that problem, and I'll deal with that in good time. But it has been quite hard. A lot of ups and downs, a lot of knockbacks. For every success we have like 5 to 10 knockbacks. But that is business, and you got to keep going. But last year we were going through a rebranding phase. We had a great agency on the coast help us out with a what we believe is a beautiful, amazing rebrand that's helped put us to that next level. And the work involved in that was 10, 12, 14-hour days. I was working, I couldn't even tell you how many days straight. And then I started neglecting myself, which is, the opposite to what we preach. We're always preaching self-care first. And when it's your business or charity or whatever you want to call it, there's no one else to do the work. You've got to get it done.
You're it.
So I had to sort of sacrifice the self-care to get the work done. Otherwise it wouldn't have gotten done. And I ended up, really, really sick. I ended up with a form of arthritis, psoriatic arthritis, which is mainly comes on, you got to have psoriasis first, which comes on from stress, your immune system being run down. Spent a bit of time in hospital because I couldn't, get out of bed and couldn't move. But back to the self-love techniques, and which I believe are also important. If you start any journey in business, you've got to have those self-care techniques in place, those strategies to help, keep you happy, because you've got to be happy outside of work and in your everyday life if you want to be successful in your business.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Because I read this statistic this morning, even that 1 in 2 millennials these days want to start a business. And it's cool, like we are the generation that we're really creative and innovative, but it's like so many of us, like I said, they start and they give up so quickly. And it's like, I love that you're being really real and honest and raw about, we put ourselves out there and we have some wins, but we also have so many setbacks and the actual cost emotionally and physically too.
A lot of ridicule too. When you start anything and put your name to it, you've got to be prepared for criticism. My life's completely changed now. I can't be the guy that, your typical Aussie bloke going to the pub and carrying on, getting kicked out or whatever, because I have people coming up to me all the time. Why are you out here? Why are you drinking? You run a mental health charity. You shouldn't be drinking. And that's only happened a couple of times, and that's the extreme cases. But you stop wanting to put yourself in those positions, and you've got to be prepared for that. And I am. Probably because I'm a little bit older and I'm married now. But
you ready for babies?
You're married now. That changes everything.
Don't you go changing on me.
It sounds weird, but I mean, if I was 21, 22, maybe I wouldn't be ready to pull my head in a bit, so to say.
Yeah.
But you got to be prepared for these sacrifices. Sacrifice late nights. Going out with friends to spend late nights in front of the computer. You sacrifice. I had to give up football. Football was my first love. I wasn't the best player or anything, but
you were all right.
Good.
I've watched some of your games.
It was what I loved doing. So not being around the boys anymore.
The boys.
It's hard to explain that camaraderie and that team feeling. It's just something. That was what I did from 6 years old, and I had to give that up, which was fine because we've got a greater purpose. I had to give up a high paying job in the mines. But it all comes down to sacrifice and that higher purpose. And if you want it bad enough, you'll get it one way or another.
Well, and that takes me sort of it makes me wonder, because I mean I know how hard you work. I've seen what you guys have done and what you do. But for those who are listening, maybe there are people watching or listening who want to actually start a charity, or they're really inspired by your story. What does a day in your life look like when you wake up and go to bed? What's the type of work are you doing in a day?
Oh, that's a lot of different work at the moment, because we're still quite a small team. We might have a big reach and a big audience, but we're still very, very small. So, it involves meetings, a bit of business development, trying to set up collaborations, partnerships, the orders. We've got to do the orders and that whole apparel side of the business, which doesn't run itself. It's a lot of hard work in that. Social media planning. There's, we talk in schools, so you could be talking in the schools, presentations. Our days are just here, there and everywhere. They're always planned, but one day to the next are completely different.
So different.
And that's the beauty of being a startup. There's, you don't have a team of people to do it. It's just you.
Yeah, wearing all the hats.
Definitely. Although we highly recommend having people to help out, focus on what you're good at and try and outsource the rest. Even if that's just for advice and you've then got to do the work, try and find the people that are the best at what you're trying to do and learn from them or let them help you.
Love it.
was going to say, is there any other advice you'd give to anybody who's listening and thinking they'd like to do something similar, or they've got a cause that they're really passionate about and they'd like to work in that kind of space, whether it's raising money or...
I'd definitely reach out to a lawyer first, or reach out to us. I'm happy to answer any questions. It is quite a complex procedure, and it's definitely best to get some legal advice first before you get started on any journey. But just do your homework. Is there a not-for-profit, or is there an organisation out there already that's doing what I want to do? Can I help maybe contribute to them? Can I help strengthen what they're doing? And then if not, just really do your homework on how you are going to make the best possible impact for the better in whatever it is you want to do. Because, chances are there is someone out there and you can collaborate. If not, you want to be able to do it to the best of your ability.
Yeah. And I guess that brings you back to, like, when you are starting something like a charity up or any type of business, always be so strong with your why. Like, your why is obviously so strong. You have never stepped away from it. It's never changed. It's always been, like, your mission has always been the same. And when you do have those tough days, like, I'm sure that you've gone, no, I'm doing this for a reason. Like, there's a reason why this is happening. Do you have anything that you read or you've written or something like that's like your, like, the LIVIN mission that you remind yourself about?
We do, but I've got Dwayne's name tattooed on my wrist, right wrist. So I'm right-handed. I'm always looking down at that. We've got a big photo of him on the wall in the office, and I've got a little photo of him next to my desk that says, "Just keep doing it. Do it for me." I'm watching, so that's, inspiration's never far away.
That's cool.
The job does get hard because you get so busy working, you don't actually hear about the effect that you're having in the world, and when we get positive feedback, it helps kick us into gear and sends us to that another level because we have positively impacted someone's life, and to us that's why we do what we do, and it's the ultimate compliment.
That's cool.
I was going to say, what's like the biggest perk, or for all this hard work, what's the biggest...
For us, it's those messages of, you've saved my life.
Wow, that's awesome. I just got goosebumps.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You can't get better than that, because that's why we started it. We could never bring Dwayne back, but if we can stop one person from joining him, and that's the goal every single morning we wake up, save one life. And 9 days out of 10, we probably don't hear that we have saved a life. But, when we do, it's all the inspiration we need. But on top of that, we've met a lot of great people. A lot of people out in our family. They do certain fundraisers for us around the country, even around the world, and they're now like family to us.
Yeah.
And also the people that work within the space, they're all beautiful, amazing people, and we all get along like one big family.
How can people, like, if people are really inspired that are listening to this and they want to contribute, what's the best way for them to contribute to LIVIN? Like, what do you guys need the most at the moment?
We need people helping spread that movement, purchasing a bit of apparel and helping, wear it with pride. But if anyone ever asks you what it is, really tell them what it is. To us, that's, spreading our message without us actually being there, and that's spreading it in an organic way. Fundraisers are great, but not everyone can do them. Not everyone has the time. But everyone can jump online and buy a hat or buy a shirt or buy something, a wristband. We've got wristbands that are cheap, and just really help represent and spread that word.
Cool.
And tell people they don't make the speak.
And what's the vision going forward? Do you have some big goals and dreams for you guys in LIVIN? Yeah,
we're at a crossroads. Started in 2013 and we hit the ground running, and we've been getting pulled from a lot of different directions, and we're just getting so big, chasing our tails. We've taken a step back last year, and we engaged a consultancy firm, and it's been a long process, very noisy process. But we're very, very excited to see what they come up with, which should be delivered any day now.
Watch this space.
Watch this space, because the bigger you get, you're getting pulled in more directions, and you're saying yes to everything, and that's not always a good thing. The point of this was really focusing in on what we're good at, honing that, and just chasing that really, really hard, and saying no to the other things and outsourcing that. So in about a month or two, it's going to be a very, very clear-cut vision. The mission's always the same, but the process of how we're going to do it day in, day out is going to be different, and we're going to take it to the next level. We're no longer...
I'm excited.
Yeah.
You can't do that to us.
Don't leave us hanging.
We're no longer high school kids. Like, we graduated from primary school to high school, and now I think, we're either college students or we've...
Man.
we're always going to be learning. That's the beauty.
I love it. I have to admit, so even when I was working in child protection space, I know we spoke about this, like a lot of the services right now who are engaging with young kids, it's scary to talk about mental health. It's confronting, like you said, there's this stigma around it. I know they do like lots of play therapy and stuff to kind of make it not so daunting for kids, but it's so cool when they see like these cool young dudes with this cool apparel, and I know sometimes you had some rugby players come in with you, going into schools and actually talking about mental health. So I think it's really cool to see that new space open up for kids and getting it spoken about at a younger age.
Just trying to keep it relatable and go to where they are. There's no point in trying to treat them or talk to them in a way that they don't want to be treated or talked to. So just trying to break it down, get on their level, use the power of our lived experience. But in saying that, we still got to do the governance. We still got to keep all the important literature there, which we do.
Yeah.
Last year we had a very good program that was researched and we had some papers published. Thank you. Published from CQU.
Yeah.
And that was very, very promising. So we just want to, our goal is always to get bigger and better and always be learning.
So for guys who want to go and follow your journey, see what you're up to, where can they find you?
Website, www.livin.org. And then I believe now all our social medias are in line and they should all be whatever at livin.org.
Oh, cool.
For a while it was, a bit different. I suppose that's probably a good bit of advice. Whenever you're starting something, make sure that name's available on social media.
Congruent.
Very much so, because it can be quite hard and you're losing that. You could lose a whole big market by having a different name.
Yeah.
Or even if, you want to be called Run, and that's your brand name, there's no run.com and there's no run on Instagram and Facebook.
That is really good advice.
It's something to always be mindful of.
Forward planning.
Yeah, definitely.
That's why mine has an underscore at the end, because someone else has my name on Instagram. I'm like, damn it.
And we used to have underscores too, and that's the hard thing.
Yeah.
So always try and, from a branding perspective, try and lock that in before.
So they can find Instagram on their website. We'll plug and put the stuff underneath this as well.
Email is info@livin.org if you've got any questions relating to today, in regards to our school talks or what we're doing, or if you want advice, that's how you can find us on the email.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Casey, for jumping on and joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here, girls.
It's been awesome.
Lots of fun.
Such a good chat. Thanks, Case. It's so hot.